All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Nicola. I'm one of the youth board members of One World Together. And thank you all for coming to today for a lunch and to join us in our journey ahead. Throughout the presentation today, there will be the QR code, so feel free to ask any questions you have, put them on there, and we will come back to them at the end. We really cannot say how much we appreciate all of the support you're giving us. So after the event, we will go downstairs to the drum, and there will be some refreshments, so stick with us and we'll show you the way. Now, please welcome with me Nikki and Chibwe, the wonderful founders of One World Together.
Thank you, Nicola, and thank you again, everyone, for joining us. It's a real pleasure to be here and see you here. We'll get started. They say an idea can change the world, but we say it's more than the idea. It's the people that come together to back it, the ones that hope for a better future and want to play a part in that. That's all of us here today.
We're absolutely delighted that you've come to join us to celebrate a simple yet transformative idea, that together we can change the nature of support for global development and shift power and money to the organizations that are closest to the community. So,
we welcome you to
One World Together!
We have a long history here at the Global Development Institute of researching, critiquing the role of NGOs in development. Chibwe, my co-founder, has worked in the sector for many years, and we have a shared frustration around the deep inequalities that characterize the NGO and charity sector.
So not only does all our money go to the biggest charities, there are organizational forms, there are processes, there are partners, which, through whom they work with, and the restrictions they face from bigger donors. All these limit their good or their efforts to have impact in these communities. So something has to change, and it's become very apparent that organizations that currently hold the power and resources are either not willing or unable to drive this change. So yes, many organizations, many charities, and I've worked in the sector for a long time, are working to improve their funding practices and build more equitable partnerships. But it's very hard given how entrenched these practices and these mindsets are.
Chibwe and I met in one such initiative to shift power and money away from the largest, most professional NGOs and charities. But we found ourselves frustrated with the process pretty quickly because there are just too many obstacles that have been there for too long to overcome if we want really, truly transformative change. So instead, we focused on imagining an alternative system, one that builds solidarity between a new generation of supporters of global development and some incredible organizations working closely with their communities. And we're excited to introduce you to them today. So with One World Together, we're proud not to be waiting for others to make change. We're driving this change together, moving towards a trust-based, equitable, and impactful system. So let's look in a bit more detail at what we're all about. Oh, wrong one.
Okay. So for One World Together, solidarity is at the heart of everything that we do. So we've designed an affordable system that builds strength from the broad base of committed supporters. Our global citizens can sign up for as little as £1.25 a month, which we will pour into our Solidarity Fund and channel to our brilliant partners through long-term, predictable, and unrestricted basis. This is the best form of support for strengthening organizations, and I know something about this, and this is something I'm very passionate about, because this is the only way we can strengthen these organizations, their abilities to be strategic, agile, and to respond to the needs of their communities. With the exception of a transaction fee, which we have put out transparently and very clearly, every single penny of that pound will go to our partners directly, will all reach the partners. So all your money funds impact. So in addition, we have designed a membership model to support this movement. And this is where our radical transparency and some of our values will come in when you have a look at our website. So a small annual fee will cover operational costs. Our lean model will ensure that they are kept low, because to send money costs money. And key here is moving away from expensive and often disrespectful funding models so that more money can go where it counts, directly to our partners. And we'll introduce you to our wonderful partners very soon. And any surplus funds from that bottom line, any surplus to these costs will be reinvested into the community in other funds that support our partners. So for example, through learning journeys, evaluations, or taking One World Together globally.
Great, thank you, Chibwe. Oh, yeah. So there's going to be lots of decisions that we make as One World Together as we reach these different stages. We're kind of very proud to say we're on a learning journey together, and we want this process to be as interactive as possible, bringing you, our kind of supporters, into these conversations and decisions. If solidarity is at the heart of our philosophy, it's these interactions and engagements and bringing you in that builds that solidarity and holds us all together. Over the summer, we're going to be designing an online community space that directly links you, who are calling our global citizens, to our brilliant partners. This will be a space for learning, for connecting, and for exploring. It's a space where our partners can demonstrate their brilliant work alongside the power that this new form of support offers them. It's a space where you, our global citizens, can learn about how your support makes that difference, where you can get involved in decision-making and find new ways of championing our partners. This community space, and you, will be our beating heart.
And of course, it's been a momentous journey to get One World Together to this stage. Its shape and essence represents the thoughts and experiences and wisdom of a huge number of students, husbands and friends and family and philanthropists and NGOs, development stakeholders, and other interested people who have taken the time to share their experiences with us. And we are deeply grateful to all of you.
I'm very proud to say that the University of Manchester has been an incredible support to getting us off the ground. Alongside my department, the Global Development Institute, the School of Environment, Education and Development has been a huge champion of ours. A particular thank you to Martin, Kay, Johnny, Terry and Carly with that. The Masood Entrepreneurship Centre has also been invaluable to an academic that started off very clueless how to take a research-based idea into a social enterprise. That includes supporting me through the ARC Accelerator programme, where we won £45,000 investment that will help us support those operational costs throughout the first year. We'd also like to thank Ink and Water for their incredible branding, which we love. T-shirts are available online. And their web design, and Sustainable Change Studio for their interactive work on our messaging and communications. And also to our other strong champion, Dan, who is also sporting his hoodie up there. He's our brilliant accountant. Thank you. I want to personally give a particular thanks to Tony Walker and Peter Patashko, who have given me unwavering support and great mentoring and championing throughout. And most of all, to Chibwe, who's made this dream come alive with me. I can think of no one I would rather be standing here and celebrating this with. Thank you, Chibwe. To my husband, Tom, and my children, Benny and Maddie, thank you for always being there and for being you. And also big thank you to my dad, who's also in the audience. So it's a real family affair, which is what we want the One World Together philosophy to be, a family.
So I would also like to thank this superhuman being called Nikki, who took a thought, an idea, research into the real world. And I'm so grateful that she invited me on this journey and, to try and transform the world. So we literally instead of just talking about it as a practitioner, because I'm a academic, so as a practitioner, instead of just talking about it, I'm actually doing something about it. That's just, I mean, I'm living the dream. Yeah. So thank you so much, Nikki. And I would also like to thank, although my husband and daughter couldn't be here today, because I have to come in from London, and they're working, London life. But, but they're very, very supportive, and I'm sure you get to meet them on one of these occasions. But I'd like to thank them for their consistent support throughout my career to the point where I get to One World Together. And finally, I'd like to thank everybody else that gave me a hand. And I'm a person of color, I'm an African, I'm a Zambian diasporan. So within this sector, we won't even go into the tensions, and I can see one of the people that gave me a hand, Irene over there. I'd like to thank everybody that gave me a hand in my journey, in my career. I worked with Irene at Comic Relief. She actually took me on my first international trip to go and do I shadowed her for my project visit. And I'm very grateful to people like Irene for giving me a hand, and everybody else, because this success that we are celebrating here is not only mine or Nikki's or our youth board or our partners, it's ours, all of us. So thank you very much.
So both Chibwe and I firmly believe that we're simply stewards of a movement. We've started an idea that is the next generation's to take forward and to see it into a future success in which they can fight for and build a better future. For us, that includes our own children, our own global citizens, Benny, Maddie, and Chipaka. But also at the heart of us is our fantastic youth board who are shaping our launch and our future. So with that, we are going to pass over for the best bit, which is getting to know our youth board and getting to know our partner organizations, because to us, they are the heroes of One World Together. So with a huge thank you for your passion, commitment, and driving force, let's hand over to you all to learn a bit more about why they got involved personally as students of the University of Manchester, and for them to introduce us to our brilliant partner organizations. Thank you all again. We're really grateful for your time.
Thank you so much for the support.